Okay, hello there everybody, it's my Hammer, and welcome back to Edgeworth. I'm just gonna call it Edgeworth from right now. Anyway, welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. So, right off the bat, you can definitely tell, like, well, I mean, I can already tell, like, everything's different. Everything's definitely a little bit different than what I'm used to. But, one thing right off the bat, it's just positive that I get to play as Edgeworth. Like, right there, that already puts me in a damn good mood. So, oh boy. Him using logic as a game mechanic. Interesting, to say the least. Also, I think it's probably a good idea that I went with the DS version. Apparently, the phone port is not that good. I mean, at least I've been told the portraits are like HD. By the way, thank you very much, Super Nerd, for telling me this. But, yeah, apparently it's, apparently the phone ports are not that good. But anyway, good lord, the amount of people that were excited for this, I was not prepared for that. But then again, considering how Ace Attorney is quite beloved, it suddenly makes sense. Anyway, yeah, let's get back. So, last episode, a murder just took place in Edgeworth's office. Gumshoe was accused. Now Maggie is being accused of potentially doing the murder, but I think we already know who potentially the murderer actually is. Unless he's got a twin brother. I don't know, one of these days we might get one of those. Oh, by the way, the name pun for him, a jock. I'm an idiot. Anyway, March 14th, 4:18 a.m. Prosecutor's building, 12th floor hallway.
What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable.
Please maintain your professionalism, detective.
I'm gonna find some real solid evidence by proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir.
Oh, by the way, this takes place apparently after, I think Justice for All. Somebody actually explained this. I feel dumb because I'm trying to remember where this takes place in the timeline, but I believe it was after the second game? I think so? Oh god, I am so sorry if I'm getting this wrong. But I don't think that's necessarily well, I mean, I guess it kind of is important, but yeah, it takes place after. Anyway.
But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir.
True. So then, what now?
Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch.
Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway.
Really, sir?
For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Mr. Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Begin investigation. Prosecutor's building, 12th floor hallway. And we're now exploring the hallway. Seriously, I will admit, this feels really weird. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case.
I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth.
I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I shall jog her memory by showing my notes to her through the present button. Oh, right. First let's just talk to her first. The victim. Have you ever met the victim before?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir.
Playing basketball of all things? Really?
Well, that sounds like fun. Just once I'd have loved to play with them.
It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir.
Was he not allowed to take a shot?
Well, on second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in all that well with them.
Probably not. You got the spirit, though. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you're an acquaintance of the detective?
Oh, she was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day, she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so, she quit.
But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night.
Before you were about to clock out. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct?
Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. It's as if I'm in some sort of story where the writers keep using me as a scapegoat for terrible things.
You know what? I can relate.
Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I become a security guard.
If Larry's the butt of all jokes, Bird is just... Oh my god, poor Maggie. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime, and I should know.
I know! And just when I thought I'd finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck.
You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation.
Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help.
Look at that face. Look at that face. She wouldn't hurt a fly. The fly would probably hurt her, but she would never hurt a fly. Alright, so let's see. Key. I did not mean to do that. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, I need to look at this. Hold on. I guess I should probably look... Yeah, I really should look at this a little bit more. It's the master key to every office in the building. Oh. And here I thought that there'd be something else here. Although it is really neat that we are allowed to examine these sorts of things, though I guarantee it's going to be much more important later on. Alright. So when did you discover that the master key was missing?
By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir.
Okay, so the key went missing from approximately 1 a.m. until 2:30 a.m. 2:30 a.m. So, I need to remind myself about the time of death and all that. So between 1 a.m. because at this point I'm only able to play this game like maybe once a week. But anyway, 1 a.m. to 2:30. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place?
It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window.
Always, you say. Except for this time, correct?
Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the edge.
She used the master key? What for? Wait. I'm gonna present my badge.
That's a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? It proves that you're really a prosecutor.
Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe.
With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor.
With how the way the story, with how the creators write you, I don't think that would be a good idea.
Sir, may I please try that on just for a little bit?
I don't think that would be a very good idea, do you?
I guess not.
On second thought, they're actually on the same level. It's no wonder they get along. Hey! What did you mean by you used the master key?
Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key.
You don't say.
I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right?
Which What is it?
That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir.
What? Okay, please tell me more, Miss Bird. Quickly. Also, can I just... Okay, it's not only the fact that I'm just happy that I'm back in the Ace Attorney universe, but there's a certain charm that the music has. And I have to admit, it's really good.
It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir.
And that's when you loaned the master key to him.
No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir.
I see.
And then, what happened after that?
Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think.
But you said the key was stolen between 1 and 2:30 a.m., and you were using the key at 1:30 a.m., which means after you did this, that would mean that whoever stole the key, well, I mean, I think we have a good idea of who stole the key. It would either have to be Portsman himself or Mr. Faith. The key, that would mean there's a 1 hour window for that key to have been stolen. I think? Sort of. Maybe. So, in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. This key was used to unlock and lock Portsman's office at 12 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. Unlock at 12 a.m. and then lock it at 1:30. All right, I think I can combine that.
Talk about suspicious!
I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Also, I'm gonna try to combine my logic now. This might be a good opportunity to do this. Let's see. Let's ignore the files in this array. So let's see. The key went missing from approximately 1 a.m. until 2:30 a.m. But 1 a.m. until 2:30 a.m. The key's not locking until 12 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. Let me see if I can combine them. Yes! There it is. I knew I noticed it. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story.
What? No way, pal. I mean, sir.
Oh, god damn it, now she's saying it.
You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time.
Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I totally forgot all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now.
Listen, if I did not know you, I would assume you were being very suspicious.
You're right. It was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing.
And?
Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I?
Maggie, you're making yourself look bad.
So, I pretend...
Oh!
I pretended to lock up his room, sir.
Pretend? Okay, so how it is, she unlocked the room, then the key went missing, and then she came back and pretended to lock the door. So that would potentially eliminate Portsman as the one that took the key, meaning the only person who could have potentially stolen the key was Buddy, or Mr. Faith. I think. You pretended.
Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir.
So in actuality, you never did relock the door, then?
Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly.
Which means we can investigate that room. Discovered in the hallway of the prosecutor's building. We can look through his stuff. Oh, it's not a gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
No. Detective Gumshoe, you look rather intrigued by something. Care to share?
Oh, it's nothing, but I noticed that Mr. Portsman calls his partner Jim.
Yeah?
And the detective in that Sunday night drama, All My Cops, is named Jim, too.
Really? All My Cops? Oh my god.
I bet one of them is a big fan of that show.
You seem to know a little something about it yourself. I take it you watch it too?
Well, of course. The tight bond of friendship between prosecutor and detective is great, sir. But it's nothing compared to the super strong friendship we have.
Friendship, detective? I think you're mistaking it with pity.
How can you say that, sir? After all we've been through, too.
Oh, it's okay, Gumshoe. We all love you. About Miss Bird.
No way she's the killer. Please don't tell me you buy into that accusation, sir.
Rest assured, I think she's innocent. However, I need to ask her a few things regarding her security guard position.
Well, if you're only asking, that's okay. Just stand next to her and then touch the talk button.
What the hell are you talking about? The talk button? I'm sorry, the only thing that makes sense to me is the logic button.
Then you two can talk about whatever topic you pick. When you want to ask her about evidence, all you have to do is present it. Well, after you choose what to show her, touch present again, and off you go. I recommend showing different people different things. You'll be surprised by what they say. Kind of like Phoenix, who kept showing his badge to everybody. Kind of like you did earlier.
Don't remind me. Thank you for the explanation. Although I don't recall asking for one.
Oh, just so you know, sir, you can show me evidence in the same way, too.
I do believe it's time to get down to business and ask some questions of Miss Bird.
I'll ignore it again.
Actually, I kind of want to present something to him. Let's see. I don't think he'd know anything about the master key, but... Maybe not. Fuck it.
Okay.
Does anyone kind of have... Oh, wait. Okay, so you're not going to say anything about that. You're not going to say anything about this door either? Let me guess. No?
I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with the other end of the rest.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, hey, it didn't hurt to try. Wait until the Ace Attorney games get to the point where they just start, like, punishing you for presenting or pressing people. Actually, wait a minute. Didn't that happen in a Yeah, that did kind of happen, where I had to press at a specific point, and I could only present at a specific point. Otherwise, I would have gotten a game over. Ah, frickin' turnabout Big Top. What a delightful little journey. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Hello? There is a book down there? It's the file!
Isn't this that missing O-series file, sir?
No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. Looks like maybe 3, if those are what I think they are. 3 or 4 pieces of paper. I wonder what the files were covering.
So, what are these zero files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh?
Not particularly. Just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine.
Huh?
They belong to the high prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were.
Well, then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right?
It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. The case 10 years ago?
I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. I'll examine everything.
A well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent.
Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know. Probably more comfortable than my own bed.
You would sleep even out here, Detective? In a hallway?
Well, whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends the same way. Me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful?
Maybe I should give it a try sometime. To envision myself winning, naturally. That's amusing. Interesting. So we found out where the file is. And there's a basketball? What? What is a basketball doing here? And a hoop. Whatever the fuck that thing is called, a hoop?
That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis.
And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in the hallway. Got that right. Oh my god, it's him. It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. You must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who's this guy again? Ah, that's probably Winston Payne. I think. Is everything all right?
Yes, sir.
You must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Hell yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm finally getting to my target weight too. Good job, buddy. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and this room.
Oh, everything's okay, sir.
A word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. Okay. What is a basketball hoop doing here?
Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago?
So when and why was it moved indoors?
Well, I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently.
Drag it?
I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself.
All the way up to the 12th floor? That man better have been freaking paid or given some sort of giving himself a fucking break. Good lord, because, okay, you need to understand, those things are heavy. The bottoms of those things are usually filled up to the brim with sand or heavy water to keep them in place whenever you're playing basketball. I'm sorry, that shit's not light. I'm speaking from experience. Huh. How interesting. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. 1202? Oh, 1203. How the fuck? Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office?
Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir.
A thought just occurred to me. You can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop. What's stopping somebody from repositioning that basketball hoop next to the other door, and then they could just say, oh yeah,
this is my office. Don't you get it? I put my basketball hoop right next to it.
food for thought.
Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put it next door, sir.
So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202?
I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday, December 2nd?
That's an oddly specific reason to have that. But I sort of get it.
Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why.
I can think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting my time thinking about this? Anything else? A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood.
It's kind of majestic too. Fits in really well with the ambiance of the prosecutor's office. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these.
Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
Well, I mean, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne.
I'm right here! Mr. Payne, I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. Ouch. Doorknob. The door is locked tight.
Heh, I bet the old credit card trick won't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
Wait a minute, you said you pretended to lock this door. Really? This is the office of a high prosecutor, detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha! So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Okay, that's actually a really good. I like that phrase. Return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from. That's good. That is good. Oh, deduce. I think it's time to deduce. The spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yes. Yes, it is. Hold on, let me just see. Stuff. This. There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight?
Huh? You know, you're right.
Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door?
I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't.
Which means, what, sir?
The rooms were switched. It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one.
She opened a different door, but how can you prove that?
There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. Prints on the master key, prints on the doorknob, prints on the number plate! Yes! They could have swapped out the number plates to make it seem like... oh, the thing is, I was originally going to be like, oh, it had to have been the basketball court, but no, that was a red herring. What was actually done was the number plating. By swapping the number plating, that's how the door switch ended up happening. And that's how Edgeworth's office was unlocked. Yeah! The number plate. The prints on the number plate. They will tell us all that we need to know.
Everything? Really? Like what, sir?
Like, well, for example, and what? But I was... well, we know for sure that Detective Gumshoe's dinner will only consist of instant noodles.
Wow, that was amazing, sir. How did you...
No, but I thought... I thought I was on the right track. I figured that the number plates would be swapped around so that way the... But... I really thought I was... Damn it.
thought I was right. Was that supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, that's it. Now then we should get back to doing what we need to do, and that is... I guess prints on the doorknob. I legitimately thought I was onto something. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything.
Hey, you! Yeah, you, pal! Do us a favor and see what you can flip from this, okay? So, what'd you find out?
The letter just got here, sir. There's no need for such belligerent nostril-flattering, detective. Sir, I've only found Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob. So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive.
Huh? I'm lost, sir.
If Maggie's prints aren't on there, think logically. A certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose print should also be on this doorknob? Miss Bird. It should be. What the hell's that? Take that? That didn't work.
Take that!
Oh well. Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent?
You mean?
Yes. The door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Information discovered in the hallway of the prosecutors. Mr. Portsman's office date is updated my organizer. Okay. Damn, I thought I was onto something. What have we here? What the? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. The basketball! Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman?
Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match.
Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball.
That isn't the point you should be focusing on, detective.
You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad, Mr. Portsman. Bad. Someone should teach him to clean his toys up after he's done playing. I'm getting the newspaper.
I think we've reached the end of this conversation. Oh, definitely. What's this?
What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, what about a game? How about a game?
That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off.
Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk.
The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I'd better take note of this. Yeah, because look at it. There's like an indentation of where it used to be, which kind of tells me that I was potentially right that, yes, the hoop was moved. Let's go in the hallway of the prosecutor's office. Glad I noticed that. Now, this. What is this?
Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Oh, let's see here. There's something written on it.
I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone. But, looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later. Buddy. Looks like a note from the victim.
Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman.
The 3 pieces of evidence. Note by the victim. Interesting. I don't think there's anything else for me to look at except for the door. A minimalist yet classic wooden door made top quality wood. Yep, same thing. Yep. Also, I love this music playing right now. It's pretty good. It's good. All right. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna check this real quick. Oh, I thought I could actually look at the physical note. I guess not. Okay. My bad. That's my B. There are signs that it's been moved.
just a little security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it.
It's like talking to another gumshoe. Oh.
I've had to open Mr. Portsman's office up for him a number of times before. I've also had the chance to see the inside of his office on a number of occasions, too. He's got shelves upon shelves of sports memorabilia, trophies, and awards in it. To the point where it's almost beyond gaudy, sir. But maybe I just feel that way because I'm jealous since I don't have even a single one.
Nah, you're not the only one that didn't have a trophy. I get the feeling.
Don't say that, Maggie. I'll make a special Guard of the Month award just for you.
Thanks for trying, but I've already got a mountain of consolation prizes, sir. They're proof of just how unbelievably unlucky my life has been. Plus, getting an award from you just isn't the same as getting a real reward, sir.
Okay, then. Probably nothing, but I want to see. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Wait,
I can.
if there's anything else to make me do. Doors are tight.
Heh, bet the old credit card trick won't work. This is the Office of High Prosecutor.
Damn, I swear, I thought I was onto something there. What to do? What to talk to Maggie about? Hey! That is not what I meant to hit. I pressed the wrong button. I was wondering about the investigation.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Let a real seasoned pro teach you how it's done.
A real seasoned pro. Of instant noodle cuisine, perhaps?
You know that you can always check out the really important spots in more detail, right?
Yes.
And if the area's too big, you can always use the arrow buttons at the bottom, right? Right? Oh, sorry. Oh, but don't worry, sir. The arrows only show up when you need to use them to see more.
I know that as well.
And we think there's a contradiction or something unusual. Try deduction. First, you line up your cursor with a suspicious-looking area. Then try touch deduce and choose your poison. Evidence. When you settle on a piece, you gotta present it.
I'm pretty sure I already knew that as well, Detective.
Well, if you can remember all that, then welcome to the world of pros. IW, Ace Investigator. Class dismissed.
And all I wanted was an update about the investigation. Yeah. I won't rest until I've inspected every special-looking cranny. Now I'm looking at my door. 1202. These four numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office.
Whoops! Hey, these numbers plates slide right out, sir. They have to be.
They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. My thoughts were correct. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... Really? You're not gonna pursue that? That's extremely important! I don't see any signs of false entry.
And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir.
Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob?
Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Whap, they think.
Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Oh! Oh, that's what I need to do. Poking around this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely.
Huh? How do, sir?
In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case.
You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth.
As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman.
What? Mr. Portsman?
I knew it! That's exactly what my logicians were telling me too! I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir!
That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. Hell yeah! Let's do this, Edgeworth. March 14th, 5:12 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir.
All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here.
That is not how you handle files, you dum-dum.
Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this.
Whoa, boy! Ow. Ow. Got my head. Oh. I'm fine. What day is it?
That thing freaking pelted him in the head. Good God. Anyway.
Well, if isn't Detective Gumshoe.
End of the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now!
Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke?
It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jock Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. I miss the music so badly.
You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you could say, if you promise to stay out of our way.
You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job? I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl.
Who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years.
And arguably had the hottest voice to pull off for the longest time.
But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy.
Are you seriously trying to pin his legacy upon me? I'm a changed man, you ignoramus.
Really teaches me that I gotta stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know.
Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up.
Well, aren't we full of ourselves? Even though you have yet to prove anything?
Let's go. Mr. Portsman's rebuttal.
I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points way from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I got work to do, so we're done here.
Sorry, but we are not finished yet.
You're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something?
I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on, with evidence.
Here we go! Rebuttal!
Alright. Press. Press everything. Get as much dialogue as possible. My accusation is a harebrained idea, is it?
You tell me. I'd say it is, after all.
Oh. Oh? And what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about here?
Jim was my partner, so you can't say I had a motive for killing him.
And that's it. That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain.
But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree?
Might I recommend that you review what the word evidence means?
It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer.
I do love these animations, though. nice.
Hold it!
Unfortunately, I believe I have already shown how earlier.
Your speculations mean nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room.
What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? Yes. You claim to have had no way to open my door. However, is that really the honest truth?
All right, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot.
Very well then. I propose that you use this to open my door. The master key. Let me see, just to make sure that I get all this right. Okay.
Take that!
I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection!
Wait. Hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know.
Wait, did I accidentally... Did I get it right? Oh, shit. I'm missing out on dialogue, aren't I? Fuck. Okay. It's fine. I'm just getting myself back into the groove of playing these games. It'll take me to just kind of shake the rust off. I'll get back to that. Don't worry. We're good.
Never laid a finger on that key, as you already know.
Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. Maggie Bird.
Take that!
You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes?
Yeah? I kinda forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know?
But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it?
What?
You have quite the imagination. Why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we?
I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir.
See, Miss Bird backs up my story.
Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted?
And how do you suppose I did that?
By switching the number plates on our doors, for example.
Exactly what I thought!
And then there's already evidence of you potentially, well, I mean, there's not evidence of you moving it, but there's evidence that the basketball court was moved.
That's right. They do slide out pretty easily.
Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not in fact mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Miss Bird think that it was his room?
The freaking basketball hoop!
Wait, hold on. Okay. Yes.
The basketball hoop!
What? The basketball hoop, sir?
It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor.
That's very true, sir, because there's a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's.
There are signs that the hoop had been moved. To sit in front of my office, you know, to be sure.
I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture's a little off the racetrack.
Oh? Conjecture's rebuttal.
Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
Was that really it? So, he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he?
I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears.
My jacket's not dirty. I'll have you know, I just washed this yesterday.
please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here.
Rebuttal.
Let's do it.
Hold it!
Nonsense, you say? I'm actually really enjoying this.
Yes, because I'm telling the truth here.
Really?
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course?
Sure, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right?
Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you. Oh, absolutely.
Hold it!
And what were you doing in your office?
I was doing my usual training regimen.
Training regiment? Were you going through your law books from start to finish?
Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance.
Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have.
With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem.
I was doing my usual workout, so...
Hold it!
I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually.
Objection!
But none of those would stand up on their own.
Objection!
Then what about all the evidence?
Objection!
It's all circumstantial. No judgment can fit on such flimsy evidence.
He seems to be trembling a little. One more little push. All I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony. Oh, it was probably the detail about his room. So the girl opened my office door. I was in my room the entire time. Really? So explain this.
Objection!
You gonna explain this for me, buddy? That was a lie.
What are you talking about? How is that a lie?
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman.
A note?
It was left under your door. Or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So, then, where were you? And what were you doing?
Ah!
Shall I explain it in full detail for you? Oh, hold up. I'm jamming. This must be like the Edgeworth pursuit theme. Oh, I love it. You were busy snooping around in my room. The very room you had Miss Bird open for you.
Objection!
That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me.
Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence.
No way!
This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you. Let me see. Not that one. Proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you. Actually, yeah. Miss Bird says she unlocked this door, but her prints were not found on the doorknob. Because there's no door. Yeah, there's no prints on this door. I think. Well, her prints were not found on the door. So, if her prints are not on this door, that proves that she did not unlock this door. She unlocked the other.
Take that!
I had your door dusted for your prints.
My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time.
You're right. I didn't find anything, and definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints.
Prince? What do they have to do with anything?
Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched.
Ah!
Furthermore, all of the prints on my office's doorknob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office.
And just what's so funny, pal?
Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world.
What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer! Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already!
And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints. Well, I can readily confess that I'd wiped that knob down well. Huh? I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there.
You made that up just now, didn't you?
Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example.
Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway?
Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse.
That's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size.
Ah, but you can't prove that, can you?
Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir.
Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it.
Besides, I have an airtight alibi.
Airtight, you say?
I only realized that I had one just now as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner.
Oh. Portsman's alibi. Are you sure about that, buddy? Like, for real? I mean, if you think about it, no, that... I'm trying to think about here, because before we even go further, there's also there's evidence that he played basketball because there's a basketball in the hallway. So wouldn't that not be counting as evidence that he was? No, that's a bit too flimsy. That's definitely flimsy. Anyway, yeah.
If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Fuck.
Do you really think Do you really think it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like, you'll see for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back.
Multitasking.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m.
You see?
All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Well, let's press him for details and let's find out.
Hold it!
You are correct. It was around 2 a.m.
Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time.
I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2.
Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2.
Hold it!
Alright. It is as you say, however.
Yes, however, you're the only one who claims to have been bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit.
Yeah.
Hold it!
So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit. Okay, I won't lie, like, for a second there, for like a split second, I was expecting, like, you paid the Criminal Affairs Department off, did you? We have a lot of corrupt cops. Sorry, I thought that was kind of funny. So it was funny, you know.
Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony.
And it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time.
See, I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had at my sleeve.
Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi.
What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face?
Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth?
What if he had a partner work on this? Like, he's not the only one. Like, maybe somebody was working alongside him.
I think we've reached the end of the line. It's time to get off this crazy train.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You there!
Sir.
Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle.
Maggie!
Detective Gumshoe!
Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn the situation around. If I only had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on this alibi? The intruder I met could not have been Portsman. Then who could it have been? An accomplice? I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic! Oh! Oh! Hold on! The other gun! There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One from there, one that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. Priorities, Edgeworth. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person. Which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Maybe the victim and his killer weren't the only visitors at my office tonight. Hey! Oh! This is cool. Okay, I like this logic idea. It's really good. The person that was searching for those files. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shells were upended twice. We know that the shells were disturbed once before, and once after the murder. So it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of two different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun, and then killed him with it. And once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Yes! Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case.
Great, so you finally come to your senses.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Sir, what are you saying?
This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I'd assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into was just your average thief.
A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, two culprits stole into my office tonight.
What do you mean, two?
It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice, and how there were two guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Mr. Bird and gained entry into my office.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know?
If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time.
So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right?
Correct. And then just when he was about to look somewhere else. Who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir?
He probably had business with Mr. Portsman. That is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess.
Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right?
And he must have thought it was odd, so we came into the office to check it out.
Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But
But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there.
because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him. And then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind.
You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that?
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated.
There was another?
Visitor, sir.
Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
The stolen zero file, right, sir?
Correct. Only, just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter.
So, the shell's getting messed up twice, and the two bullets. It was all because two different people were doing those things at two different times.
Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not in fact Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid! Your scenario explains everything!
Well, of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all.
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing, if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there's still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Grr, Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir.
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Oh, I mean...
Don't say that, sir.
I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must.
You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct.
Really? You want to go that angle, buddy? Well, I guess I should give you some credit. You're certainly doing a good job trying to hide. But there's one thing you're starting to do here, buddy. You're digging yourself a hole. Whoa! New music! Oh. 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 Don't mind me, I'm just kind of... That's good. That's good music. Good music. Anyway,
That thief you ran into should be a real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left.
really? So you think we should be out there looking for the thief?
I mean, of course! Now isn't the time to be wasting time on dead-end discussions.
Dead-end discussions? Really? I don't think it's at all dead-end. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we?
Oh, shit.
I know he's lying. I know he was here, at the scene of the crime. I'd have to find a way to prove it. Rebuttal time!
Press!
Actually, no, I wouldn't.
Why not?
That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the zero files, right, sir? Right. I almost called you sir, sorry.
And that's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup, and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves?
Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yeah, that must be it. Maybe.
Oh god, this is getting me hyped. Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby.
Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after.
Oh? You talk like you know quite a bit about this thief.
It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Faith's note...
Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say, just before he was murdered.
I don't have any, no.
You see, so I insist again that I was in my office the entire time.
Wait a fucking minute. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me... Excuse me?
Hold it!
why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith?
Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits.
And what of the evidence he brought?
There are things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant.
A gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of a testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks.
He brought me 2 items, a gun and a pendant, that are related to yesterday's case.
Where's the third item?
Hold it!
A gun and a pendant.
Yes, this gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim.
Oh, that's a nice pendant, actually. And why were you taking them to criminal affairs?
There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with this case right now. Anyway, I believe you find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction.
This is all matching up with what Detective Gumshoe found out. I think I know what I have to do.
Hold it!
I can't expect you to know, can I?
No, but I guess you can expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions.
Oh, then let's see you deduce.
Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I'd laid out earlier.
I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Well, there's already one way to prove it. There. Hey, buddy. What's the third?
Objection!
Only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail.
Excuse me?
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me.
What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully.
It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces.
Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman.
Hey, I can't to get tripped up by simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence?
It's...
You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe?
You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe.
What? Don't come any closer! I'm warning you!
This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me.
No!
Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir.
A VHS tape? Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide.
But why would he hide something like that?
There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. Security? Okay, Oh! I want to see what the label says. KG8 incident. The KG8 incident?
That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case?
Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once-over. KG8.
That's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No, you've got it all wrong.
No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now, you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video?
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him?
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints?
If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith.
No, impossible.
Did he just eat a fucking... This man just ate a medal. That... I know he's a murderer, but did this man just... He just... Give me a second.
Hydration is key.
That man just swallowed a medal. Either he's going to have to get surgery to get that out of his stomach, or he is going to have one of the most agonizing bathroom breaks in his entire life. Okay. Wow. Nice. March 14th, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202.
Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir.
Very good.
And the results we got back from the lab testing the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir.
It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies.
Oh, it was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that I was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person.
Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. Yeah, you probably should have. I'm sorry, Maggie. Although this does reveal something very problematic. Somebody wanted information from Edgeworth, and they managed to get it. Now, who could they be? That's the real question.
You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor.
And why would you say he was corrupt?
Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir.
Talk about hypocritical by throwing that in Edgeworth's face. Forged evidence, huh?
And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons.
Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession.
We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, whenever we got to near that topic, he just clammed up.
Although, we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something.
This is between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Oh? Well, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this.
Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy?
Oh, I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence. This?
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me at gunpoint?
Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
Yes?
I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir.
This card. Wait a minute.
What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective.
Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about.
There's another one? What? Yes, it is the mark of the great thief Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. And he has the hairstyle of the Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Ghost Detective, sorry. Phantom Detective, it's fucking, I miss Ghost Trick. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Let's see. Daily Express Special Edition Yatagarasu haunts embassy. The noble Yatagarasu vigilante of the business world reappears. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. Corporate dealings exposed. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back.
What? Let me see.
It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files.
So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. Yeah. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. Getting a little, warp to the past, huh? Alright. A brand new episode has been added! Turnabout Airlines! Please let me save yes. Alright, everybody. So, that's how these little investigations are gonna go. I dig it! Turnabout Allies. I'm already looking forward to this. Also, I think I literally just tore out my throat with that freak out.
I won't lie, this is arguably one of those voices that takes me a little bit of time to kind of get into. And it really fucks with my throat.
Believe it or not, I can do this voice with relatively no problem. But god damn it, whenever I get to a new one that tears up my throat, holy shit.
Okay, damn. So aside from not only the new music that decided to accompany us, I liked it. It was actually pretty good. If that was like the new Pursuit theme, I think I'm going to enjoy myself. But, I think I might still have a soft spot for Phoenix Wright's Pursuit theme. But I think Edgeworth's is probably going to... I think it'll take a little bit of time for it to warm up to me. Don't worry. Since we got to see Maggie, I wonder what other characters we're going to be coming across. Anyway, well, good first case. Already looking forward to episode 2, so if you guys are enjoying this, be sure to let me know. Thank you all very much for watching, and I need some coffee. See you guys in the next video.